The deed is a fact, the doer a mere concept. Your very language shows that while the deed is certain, the doer is dubious, shifting responsibility. That's a game peculiarly human. Considering the endless list of factors required for anything to happen, one can only admit that everything is responsible for everything. It's a universal happening. One thing leads to another. Question of wow. Didn't say wow, I'm saying it. Question of, what a powerful illusion this is. How powerful this illusion. Maharaj, no doubt, because it is based on reality. Question of what's real in it? Maharaj, find out by discerning and rejecting all that is unreal. And we've been hearing over and over again through the teachings that anything that changes, anything that is passing, transitory, but changes, is unreal. And that which does not change, like the witnessing eye or supreme consciousness, that which has remained the same in us, no matter how the body changed, how the senses diminished, or how often the mind changed, there is that sense of I am. And we feel it. Where do you feel your sense of I am? Show me in your body. Yeah, you're all going here. That's the heart chakra. And I point out that even people not aware that they're feeling their I amness here are feeling it there. And I use the example, if you were 600 people and I saw somebody in the middle of the audience and I said, I'll look at you, Franny. I go, would you come here? And if Franny didn't know me and couldn't believe I was motioning to Franny, she would go, who, me? Right? You mean me? She wouldn't go, do you mean me? Do you mean me? Do you mean me? No, we always go, you mean me? Always here. That's not our heart. Our heart's here, I think. This is the heart center. That's where we feel the I amness. That feeling has not changed whether you're 70, 7, 27. It has remained the same. I can testify I'm much older than most of the people here. That sense of me, it felt exactly like this when I was a little bit of a thing. I knew it, that I had my own sense of me. And so did you. That hasn't changed. That's the real I. Okay, so. Questioner, I haven't understood well the role of the inner self in spiritual endeavor. Who makes the effort? Is it the outer self or is it the inner self? His questions are very good, but the answers are better. Who makes the effort? Is it the outer self or the inner self? Maharaj, you've just invented words like effort, inner, outer, self, etc. And then you seek to impose them on reality. Things just happen to be as they are. But we want to build them into a pattern laid down by the structure of our language. Don't even think about that. So strong is our habit, in other words, by analysis, by logic, by reason, by thinking, we try to understand what cannot be described or understood except by direct contact with it. We cannot use the confused mind to solve a problem it created. All the teachers say so. So strong is our habit that we tend to deny reality to what cannot be verbalized. We just refuse to see that words are mere symbols, related by convention and habit to repeated experiences. Questioner: then what is the value of spiritual books? Don't get scared, he gives a nice answer. Maharaj: they help in dispelling ignorance. They're useful in the beginning, but become a hindrance in the end. One must know when to discard them. Krishnamurti, at a certain time of his life, was known to have said in Carnegie Hall, "I'm very pleased to tell you that the only reading I do is about mysteries. I like to solve mysteries." And people said, "You're not reading any other book? Well, what about the books you wrote?" He said, "Burn them." I was there when he said it. Burn them. But I have them and I read them. The books that he said were okay to read were those that were like question and answers, questions to a master. I'm coming to the end. Questioner: I feel like a man before a door. I know the door is open, but it's guarded by the dogs of desire and fear. What am I to do? Maharaj again: just obey the teacher and brave the dogs. Behave as if they were not there. Again, obedience. Obedience is the golden rule. Freedom is won by obedience, but not just ordinary obedience. It's by trusting and following the instructions that are being given to us, even in this short reading. Brave the dogs. Behave as if they weren't even there. Again, obedience is the golden rule. Freedom is won by obedience. To escape from prison, one must unquestioningly obey instructions sent by those who work for one's release. The ones who care about our release and not for their own name and fame, those are the authentic gurus. They're only here to help in our release. If they seem to be looking for publicity and name and fame and numbers, instead of being happy with a small group like this, as Gurji was, Gurji never believed in promoting Yoga Vedanta, is because the people who would come in droves wouldn't be able to understand. They'd go away anyway. This is for people on that level who are just a little away from being able to grasp intuitively what's being said. He says, obey the teacher. Freedom is won by obedience. To escape from prison, one must, without question, obey instructions sent by those who work for one's release. Questioner: the words of the Guru, when merely heard, have little power. One must have faith to obey them. What creates such faith? This is so reassuring. Maharaj says, when the time comes, faith comes. When the time for our freedom, for our blossoming comes, faith comes automatically. Everything comes in time. The Guru is always ready to share, but there are no takers, usually. Question is, yes, yes. Sri Ramana Maharshi used to say, Gurus there are many, but where are the disciples? Maharaj, well, in the course of time, everything happens. Everything will come about. All will come through. Not a single soul shall be lost. Questioner, well, I'm very much afraid, is the final question and response. I'm very much afraid of taking intellectual understanding for realization. I may talk of truth without knowing it, and may know it without a single word said. I understand these conversations are going to be published. What will be their effect on the reader? Maharaj, he's talking about I am that. Because this conversation was had long before I am that was published. He says, I understand these are going to be published. What will be their effect, these conversations, on the reader? Maharaj, in the attentive and thoughtful reader, they will ripen and bring out flowers and fruits. Words based on truth, if fully tested, have their own power. So if we take these teachings and we apply them in some aspect of our life, so that we begin to see that changes are happening. We're not reaching out so often for new adventures. We're not looking to new people to satisfy our need for company. At least we're not initiating it. But we're just alert to who crosses our path, who makes us feel comfortable, who gives us some sense of peace, which I need. Then you accept the uninvited as something that is being sent to you for a reason. But our old assertiveness, our old dropping of our card, I never did that. In the old days, no woman ever asked a man for his telephone number. Do you know that? That was in 1812. But we never did that. Today I see women doing that. I see women going over to a man they find attractive and saying that I've been attracted to your voice, your conversation. I'd like it if you'd call me if you feel like it. Are you available? I sit in a restaurant, but it looks all right, equal rights. If a man can ask a woman, why shouldn't a woman ask a man? That's good.
It's really easy to add you on Facebook. It's very simple. They add you as a friend. You have no choice. You have to say yes.
Are those 1,200 friends of mine interested in taking me out?
Who knows?
Because I'm interested in taking them in. Levon, that's really bad, isn't it? You liked it. I hope they're not interested in taking me out, because I have another idea for them. But it's as simple as that. If we just got from this, I won't tell you what I got, because it was with me all day today. Because I have people I'm very concerned about who have real problems, and they came to me. But somewhere in there, I learned that I do the best I can. I do what's given to me as a responsibility, but I don't look to create more responsibility, even in the same situations, which is my tendency. I tend to put myself in deeper trouble by asking, is there anything more I can do? It's a very bad, because of course there's always something more. To want more adventure in your life, to want more intimacy with someone, you know? Be careful what we wish for. Our experience has been that when we've really wanted something and gone after it, it is all proven to be on some level disappointing. Gurdjieff said it a lot. We don't have to determine what will be good for us. Mother Nature knows. Destiny knows. And will give us exactly what we need. Exactly. If we need a negative experience, if we need experience after experience after experience, getting married to the same type of individual, it wasn't a mistake. It's what we needed to finally be free of that aversion that we had to that particular frequency or soul or whatever it was. That's what was needed. Many things. And if you're worrying about decisions, for example, and you agonize all night long about, should I do that, shouldn't I do that, stop that and let things happen as they were meant to happen. Ultimately, at the end, all will come out to lead us to full blossoming. Ultimately, and Gurdjieff always said, we would go and tell him problems. I didn't go too much, but many people did. I would go with really serious things. But he always said, whether the problem was serious or not serious, don't worry. In the end, you will be triumphant. And we were so happy that we left without asking him, when is the end? He didn't care. He was beyond time and space, as long as we understood that this was not going to destroy us, that this was part of our process. And that's what we got from don't worry. In the end, you will be triumphant. And who said that? He said, not a single lost, Sri Nisargadatta. It may take time, some of us longer, some of us shorter, but no one will be destroyed. You can't destroy consciousness, and that's what we are. I hope you don't have questions, but I will accept them if you do. Does anybody have a question that they'd like to raise? The most important thing that you should take away is that knowledge, information, the teachings themselves are not as essential as application in your daily life. Did you take what you wanted to take? You're very good, I didn't notice. If you want to take a minute of something to show her students, a little video. Gurdjieff said that he had spoken to thousands of students, literally thousands and thousands of students during his, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 years of talking to people, helping people. And he, like Krishnamurti, said, maybe on one hand, I could count the number of people who have understood these teachings and then went out to apply them and actually applied them. But he said that early on. I think he felt maybe later, because some of us did stay with him 30 years. His ashram is now 47 years old. And some of us have been here since the very beginning. You do get a couple of points for perseverance, for sincerity. And we do trust him. Whatever he told me to do, I'm doing. He's made that part of my life easy. I don't find out what I'm supposed to do next. No. I asked, am I ever going to be able to retire, Gurdjieff? And I looked at him because I was sure he was going to say, yes, after I pass, you can. He just said, no. 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 And he meant, he had told me what to do. I'm supposed to just continue as I've been continuing. I'm continuing. And I try, if something new comes up, to imagine what he would say. to that. Something new occurs at the ashram, and I say, what would he say? And it comes to me what he would say. He's alive and well and living everywhere, but especially here at this ashram. You can feel it. Was that a hand? Yes. Did you have a hand up? No? You were stretching?
No, I was just stretching.
Okay. You looked very relaxed when you did that.
I'm
I know.
enjoying every word. It just is what you said all afternoon to me. So thank you very much for this evening.
You're welcome. Later on.
We're talking about witnessing all that.
Oh, okay. It's one. That's why.
Only 30 years.
I know. Dorothy, that's why we love you. But Dorothy, that's also why I suggested when you're feeling that kind of pain you described, just to put on a talk, download a talk. Because in every talk I mention the word witnessing. In every talk I mention not thinking, because those were his, and not identifying. Those are the essential teachings. To a talk every day since he left his body. Either his talks, he has also CDs, or the talks from readings from the Masters Saturday night, or the programs in the city. And it keeps them in touch with the teaching. One of the things that he said to people who said, I'm only happy when I'm here, but I live Michigan, I live Rhode Island, I live in Canada, I can't come. He said, come as often as you can. You need to come. Come as often as you can. He didn't let them off the hook. He said, come as often as you can. So take a deep breath. And now as you breathe out, release all the language, all the words. This will only be 60 seconds. So feel yourself letting go and opening up to this now. Feeling it, perceiving it, imbibing it. Sometimes it only takes 1 minute to reconnect with your real life, your real home. I am that I am. That is our home. Krishna Devi, would you lead us in our traditional prayer? Thank you, Krishna Devi. And if some of you are feeling very high, that you may need a designated driver, take 2 cookies. A chocolate chip is a great way to come back to earth.